Snickles. 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 Monster. Go to sleep.
You didn't listen to my dream last time.
What about the dream? What dream? What dream are you talking about? What dream are you talking about?
I said
All right.
no.
No? Why not?
We've talked about it too much now.
So?
For fun.
You think that place is fun?
What do you mean?
Right side. He's
We're gonna
left side
nuclear
of the
bomb Mexico and clean it up. Nuke Mexico. Nuke Mexico. Nuke Mexico. Nuke Mexico. We're gonna nuclear bomb Mexico and clean it all up. Nuke Mexico. Nuke Mexico. Nuclear bomb Mexico. I'm making
Atomic
a political
bomb to Mexico
joke
City.
here. Get them all, baby. Get them all. Listen, because of my nation, they see me as wrong. Because of their nation, I see them as wrong. It'll go on like that, but I'm actually right. The reason I'm doing the show is so you can get sober, so you can find truth and sobriety. You can find an existence in being sober. That's why I want you to get sober. Can you put your seatbelt on?
Yes.
It's like the scene in The Fighter when he comes when she has the when he comes back with the birthday cake. When Mickey or Dickie, whatever his name is, comes back with the birthday cake. It's like that scene. He's licking the birthday cake. He realizes that maybe he can beat this thing. I think you can beat this thing, Linda. I think you can get sober. I think you can. I think you can. I think you can beat this thing and get sober. Go for sobriety. He's hiding. You see him? See him moving? He's hiding.
Yes, I see him.
Look at the squirrel.
I see him.
He's right behind that tree right there. See him? There he goes.
Man, I know. I see him.
There he goes. He's running. That could be Timmy. Timmy the squirrel. Getting ready to get on the train. Take his family to the next city so they can find the peanut farm. And Edmund the cat rides along with him. The squirrel and the cat get along so they can ride the train together. What do you think about that? The lion lays down with the lamb.
I say bullshit.
I say it's a good story. It's called Mid-Cities Boulevard
I
Story.
know.
Angels on our shoulder. Edmund the cat went with Timmy the squirrel. I dare you to vlog with me, Adam the Woo. If you got the balls, I dare you. We'll do a Six Flags vlog. Six Flags. Once we get our seasons passed, they're over there. Adam the Woo, I dare you to be brave enough They got a commercial. I'll let this AdSense go so you get some money from it.
Where's
I dare you.
that?
Oh, it's over there. It's right there where the thing is, right over here.
Are the cockroaches or gnats?
Yeah, we don't have it anymore. I haven't seen a cockroach in like a month.
Oh, no.
Use this stuff right here. It kills all the cockroaches right there. All the cockroaches. Cucaracha.
Oh my god, look at that shit.
Get him. Get him. Ooh, gross. A cockroach. Gross. Here, I got him. Ooh, gross. Cockroach. Ooh, cockroaches are gross. Cucaracha. 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 Say Adam the Woo. I dare you to vlog with Cole Spivey.
I dare you to
vlog with Cole Spivey.
Cole Spivey.
I dare
and Linda
you.
Spivey. I double dare you. I double dare you just like that, dude.
Give me a kiss and make it mad. It's like a wedding kiss. Here, a big one. We dare you, you chicken. We don't believe your story. Your father was a minister, and you're a preacher's son. You're a brat. You're a big old brat. Jordan the Lion believes that. Jordan the Lion's on my side. So is Breck Roll. But it's okay to be a brat. Remember, when you're a brat, you get the badge, the rank, the association, and the title, and the name. Adam Williams. It's right there. It's right over here.
Watch.
There he is on a $1,000 airplane flight. Oh, Natalie. Oh, Natalie. Here you go. No, I'm joking. You know I'm joking.
You're not.
No. You could.
I'm out of the woo. I eat a lot of hot dogs like you.
Hey,
you know what?
You could give PayPal to us.
You know what?
That's good enough.
PayPal
us. Get a friend to PayPal us.
Eat so many hot dogs.
PayPal.
And you know what? You will never have a woman because you eat too much hot dogs.
PayPal Cole Spivey. PayPal Cole Spivey. PayPal Po. PayPal Po. PayPal Papa. I got 3 children. PayPal me. Don't worry, I know why Adam's not going to help me. Because I'm a playwright, and I was with the Actor Studio, and I've hung out with many movie stars. So I know he's not going to help, because he's anti-Hollywood. That's why he's done everything to be anti-Hollywood. Well, you know what? People in Hollywood are people too. All right, this is to Adam the Woo. Adam the Woo, if you fly Delta one more time, I'm pulling your show. You will not have a show anymore. Do not fly Delta again. You understand me? Take my order. We're trying to get to the laundry. We're supposed to have laundry facilities here, but right now, just a lot of jet planes flying overhead. Did you want some pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got about 7 more minutes. Let's just put it this way. I can't necessarily pull your show if you fly Delta again out in the Woo. I can't do that. I don't have the power to really do that. But I can unsubscribe. So if you get on Delta flight one more time, I'm going to unsubscribe. And that could lead to maybe another person unsubscribing. Okay? My whole family, especially a big part of the reason why I get to do anything is because of American Airlines. Okay? And they're a good airplane to fly. So one more Delta, always give vloggers this. One more Delta and I unsubscribe. Okay? I like your show, American Airlines only. Or United or whatever. I'm not anti-Delta, but show some respect. American Airlines had to come from almost nothing about 20 years ago. They almost lost everything. And you could help them out. Always fly American Airlines. And then I'll stay subscribed. I don't know. I may stay subscribed anyway. I don't know. That makes me mad. Don't fly Delta. Fly American. It's just better. And also, do more Walt Disney World. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So we'll see vlogging you. Six Flags Over Texas, Arlington. Whenever you're ready. Amen. Okay. So a lot of my show is serial comic. So it's like, I'm not really mad at Adam the Woo. It's kind of an act. Think of Charlie Chaplin and The Dictator, okay? It's supposed to be a kind of a comedy. And I know I'm very convincing because I was trained to be convincing and have conviction. I don't care if Adam Phi Delta or American, I probably won't unsubscribe. I was just kind of, it's like I was being very serious. Now, all the vloggers that are out there, they're starting off. And I know there's one. I will allow you to be on my show. Okay? Anybody. My worst enemy, my best friend. It doesn't matter who you are. What you've done to me, I forgive you. That goes for all of them. All that stuff with the Navy lady, I forgive her. But you need to prove to me that you went and vlogged a museum, vlogged a painting, you went to Six Flags, you vlogged your dog, okay? Vlogged a restaurant, maybe went to a garden and just did something, right? Vlogged a piece of food or something. It'll be a monologue. It could be cinematic. It could be you vlogging a screenplay or just making a movie. It could be anything. You're doing a weather report. I'd love to vlog with David Lynch. He's got a vlog channel too. You can be on my show, but I want to make sure that you're trying to do something. Don't just have a video up there of Tears for Fears or Flock of Seagulls or something like that. Don't do that. I was talking about McCord. These people out there, this is their job, okay? Mine's a life-based, life lesson vlog about a person that's suffering from alcohol, trying to get them away from the people that have toxins or the people that are giving her toxins, and sobriety is a big part of it. We play basketball, we do things. I use the vlog as kind of a mentor. I'm not the nicest guy in the world, but one of my main goals with this vlog is to make sure that Linda's sober. Okay, it's one of the things. I have got some attention from Jacob. He has mentioned Linda's problem. I mean, the carpetbagger. I didn't meet him, but we emailed each other, or a relative of his emailed me. His wife got a hold of me. They do have a problem with Linda, okay? I don't blame them. Nobody in this world is perfect. And there's nothing more that I want for her than to get sober and love the Lord above. We are in the year of our Lord. We're celebrating just like Adam in celebration. I know Adam is a beautiful person. He's a hardworking vlogger, and he's my favorite. He's my favorite vlogger. Jordan the Lion was the one that I got introduced to this possibility of making money and being a vlogger. I have to be honest. I was taught by a school that taught me honesty. And that was the Actor Studio. Now I do sometimes bite the hand that feeds me. I'm in debt. I'm in debt to all their love, to Harvey Keitel's love, to Robert De Niro's love, to Lee Strasberg's love. I'm in debt to that love. I'm in debt to it. They picked me up off of Hollywood, off the streets of Hollywood, almost. That's where the West Actor Studio was. James Lipton said, you come to New York and we'll teach you to be an actor. And they did. And I respect Harvey Keitel. I respect Robert De Niro, but they're actors. Okay, they're just actors. And they're older. They're like in their 70s. It's hard. I'm approaching 50. Bob Lavelle told me, don't go home and put this online. But I didn't listen. Because I wanted to do things my way. I didn't want writers writing things that I didn't agree with. I wanted to write my own stuff. So I told Bob, Bob told me, he said, look, Cole, you got some talent. He didn't directly tell me to, don't go home and put this. YouTube wasn't around then. I went to acting school 2001, 2002 at the Actor Studio in New York City. But Bob said, don't just go, is what he said. Don't just go home and put this stuff on the internet. Probably because it's a little unhealthy. You want to work with a community of people. You want to work with more than one person. So I didn't do that immediately. I wrote books instead. So when I got back to Euless, I started writing books and poetry, screenplays and plays. I did that for almost 10 years. Then in 2010, you okay, Snickles? Snickles. Okay, it's resting. In 2010, I started Pigeon 1 and attempted to make a feature film on my own in a place that I'm very close to now. Very, very difficult to do. Now, I had some friends. My friends were Rob, Mark, Victoria. She was an actor from AMDA in New York City. She helped a little bit. I had some help a little bit from the Navy lady, but she wasn't in it. But she gave me some advice on how to play guitar and stuff. About questions when you're playing a guitar, you sometimes can ask a question and really ask the question. You know, it's kind of acting notes. And I had help from more than one person when we tried to do the feature Bulb. It's probably worse than any Ed Wood film, but we still tried to do it. Dustin Nolan. He was a DJ. He was a DJ. He was a jockey, a DJ jockey, a radio jockey that went to New York, and he was in one of the Batman films. He was in the background, but he also studied acting in New York. It was like the Lee Strasberg Theater, or the Lee Strasberg Studios, or the Lee Strasberg Studios, or something like that. It was a big deal. He got to New York, went to conservatory. So these were real actors. Victoria was in AMDA, or she studied at AMDA in New York. Dustin Stoltz studied at the Lee Strasberg Studio, or something similar to that in New York. I don't know if I got that one right, but it was connected to method acting and New York acting and all that kind of stuff, stage acting and all that stuff, and film acting. So these are real actors. He's been in the theater for more than 30 years. Probably, let me see. Rob started in maybe 1992 or 91, 2001, 2011. So more than 30 years. And he's been a playwright that long too. So what I do is I mix reality with fiction. I use real names. So I mix reality and I turn it into fiction. That's what I do. And sometimes a name comes out. Now this has happened with some playwrights. Playwrights have used real people's names to fictionalize them and display them on the stage. It happens, and they get in trouble for that. Playwrights do. But they do it, and I don't understand why. And I've done it. I did it with a play called, I think the play was called, Russian Butterfly, also known as Russian Butterfly or Russian Better Fly. It was a play on words. And in store, I kind of did it a little bit. That was a play about a bank. And then I also did a play about a cabin in Maine called Hidden Drive. That one was mostly purely fiction. So I've done it because it brings me closer to the world that I remember. So I use the real name. I use the real name because it brings me closer to the world. And Francis Ford Coppola, wanted to experiment, a lot of this is experiment, with mixing the documentary with the narrative. He's been quoted to say that. So it's the documentarian and the narrative, the fictional narrative and the real life together. This is an experiment of mixing real life with fictional. That's why we have Glorious Glowhands. Glorious Glowhands is a fictional story with Colt and his partner looking for Sky, Star Climber. Okay, so it's fictional. We use a script and we write it. It's all fiction, pure fiction. Glorious Glowhands, even the song is purely fiction about a citizen sleuth, a sloth. Sloth are people, well, they're kind of slothful. Sleuth, a citizen sleuth. Those are like detectives. A human, we call them human sleuths. They're just people that do detective work. It's all fiction, pure fiction. Like Monk or Psych or True Detective or whatever. I guess it would be a better one to do is maybe even the X-Files or maybe Twin Peaks, you know. So it's kind of like going into fiction and then coming out of fiction and back into reality. And I change. I feel different when I go into fiction. And then when I go back to documentary or I go back to reality, I feel kind of like maybe this is me. And this is all along path of creating your own character, creating your own role. It's your own role. It's your personal role. It's your personal character. And then preparing. You have to prepare as an actor. You have to create as an actor. and you have to build a character. It's actually like building something. Like if you were going to build a great building, it's the same. And Stanislavski talked about that. So a lot of it's acting. So he talked about it right here in these 3 books. This is the basis for method acting. It's a rhythmic thing. It's systematic. It actually is something that you can build. You can build it. There's a lag in there we go. You can build it, okay? So we got the actor prepares. Every day we prepare as actors. Every day we prepare. So we're always preparing, even when we're doing a show. My acting teacher, Ken Stilson, he told me that you observe yourself when you're doing a show so that you can prepare for the next show. Then we begin to create our role. You know, when we say Susie sells seashells by the seashore, Susie sells seashells by the seashore, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, well, whether we like it or not, we're preparing. Then, as we find what we need to do, we start to create. We can create from newspaper articles, from videos, from people. We can use anything, music. You can use music to create. Poetry. Actors have used poetry to create their character. I think Bradley Cooper, when he was doing Jackson, Maine, which was a pretty brilliant character, I think he took some of that from, I saw an interview. It was like from some poetry or songs and things like that. And even some like tongue twisters and stuff. It was some weird stuff that he used to get that voice, to create that character. He had a voice that he used. He's a very character actor. He's more character than probably Brando or Hoffman. He's very character. Now, building a character is probably the central thing. That's like crafting it. So you build that character. I guess maybe you build the character as you create the role. But you got to read these to understand it, because they all work together in the theater. It's the ABC. See, you got A, you got the B, and you create that role at the C. I went ACB. Sorry about that. Okay, I meant the actor prepares. Sorry. Then he builds the character. And then he ultimately creates the role. So you got to do all 3. You got to figure them out. So anyway, I got some reading to do. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next vlog, or we'll see you in the next post, or we'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe. Okay, so this is like, all right. So this is like basically like the walk, right? When the actor prepares, he starts to learn his walk. Okay, that's what I got from that. This one, basically right here, is he talks about a lot of abstract stuff in approaching the crafting of a character. It could be like exercises with, he calls it almost like, well, there's a thing called motivation, finding like why the character even gets up in the morning, or why the character walks across the room, what the character is after when he's building the character. Kind of like the character's obstacles sometimes, and how they get over the obstacles to get what they want. So he gets into motivation and stuff. This one, I think I remember, is like working with the director on creating a role. So this is like the active aspect of being in the theater and working with the director. I think he goes into circles of attention. Whenever, let's say you're in the play and all of a sudden you start to forget about what the character wants. Well, you first focus on the glasses, right? Then you focus, that's one circle of attention. Then the room is a circle of attention. Then the room is a circle of attention. Then the room and the theater and the audience is a third circle of attention. So you hear something in the audience that affects the character. It could be a cell phone going off, like with Al Pacino. He did that on stage and went out and answered the phone, right? He went too far, but he did that because he could hear the phone in the audience. So the circle of attention can be as small as this remote right here in this book. That's a circle of attention. And you take that in. Then there's another circle of attention, which can be the whole room. And everything in that room represents the character. And we go back to this part of the character. Then we can see the entire room that we created. Uta Hagen talked about endowing objects. Stanislavski talked about endowing the set. And the theater itself is endowed. The theater itself is taken in. The world is a stage, and we are mere players. So here, in this moment, is a circle of attention. Then as I get up, there's another circle of attention, which is the room. Out there is the third circle of attention. The things that are flying over, the noise of the rain, right? All of that is a circle of attention. Maybe a dog barking, right? So you're aware of all these things. It's multiple levels that are going on as an actor. Now as the character, maybe not. Maybe the character isn't as smart and as creative and as genius as the actor. It doesn't take a genius to be an actor. Anybody can do it. You think Marlon Brando was a genius? Yeah, he was. He looked up at the circle of attention up here, and he did this thing. There was something up there. We don't know what he was looking at, but he did it. And he was looking up here, and then he'd come back here, and he'd look up this way. And he'd do those things because he was aware of everything around him. It was real, and it is real. When you walk into a room as an actor, you really walk into the room. Dennis Hopper talked about that. If there's someone behind the door with a lollipop, then you open the door to get that lollipop. Right? Taste the sweetness, Lee Strasberg. See? That's pretty good. Lee Strasberg taught us the lollipop or the lemon. He taught us to taste and smell. What is that smell? Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws. The tuna fish sandwich reminded him. What's that smell? Ooh, right? That is part of Strasberg's thing. He only focused, he focused on a lot of things, but he was big with the senses because actors forgot about it. He'd go out there and see a stage show. Where's the senses? What do you hear? What are you smelling? What are you tasting? What are you seeing? What are you touching? Right? So they all, almost like monks, you got Meisner wanting to focus on how you felt in your stomach, what your gut was doing, so that you didn't focus on the lines. So you're not just saying lines, but what is your gut doing in this moment? How do you feel? How is it making you feel when someone is insulting you or someone's giving you great praise? And Eleanor Deuce, who really blushed on stage. She really blushed. Her skin changed color and she really blushed. And when she blushed, everything changed. The whole theater world changed. And all of them saw that and realized, wow, magic happens on the theater because it becomes real. Okay? And they'll watch it. Because if the actor's interested in it, then you're interested, just like you're interested now. There's a lot to learn. It's not an overnight thing. You don't have to be a genius. Uta Hagen. If you don't understand this, try Uta Hagen. Look at Matthew Broderick. He's a genius. Everything was Uta Hagen. This, know it line by line. Know it by heart. Okay? Know everything. Analyze it. It's a tough book. She was a smoker. She liked to write. Okay? But this is part 3. Look, exercise. Not physical exercise. Not just playing basketball. But talking about what's a general purpose. You ever thought about that as an actor? What's your general purpose? What are you trying to achieve? You trying to scare the audience? Are you trying to present something? Trying to help the audience and present something? Are you trying to wake the audience up? Those are not really general purposes because she went from the character aspect. But as an actor, you might want to ask yourself that too. What's the character trying to say to the other character? When they walk into the room, how do they make them feel? So when you walk into the room, how does that character make you feel? What is it? What is it that you want? What's your motivation? What's your obstacles? How do you get over the obstacles? How do you finally get what you want? What is it that you do? What is it that you want? What's your heart? That's why actors analyze the crap out of people. If you're a soldier, do you carry a sword? Well, why? Why would you carry a sword? Eventually, probably you might use that sword. Well, why would you use it? What's your intent to use it? Richard III carries his sword differently than Hamlet. Did Hamlet want to use his sword? Did Richard III want to use his sword? And why were they carrying swords? Well, they were carrying it because a soldier, that's not good enough. That sword could have a name. You endow the object. That sword could have been given to them by their great-great-great-grandfather when they were Christians at the church with the sword. The sword has beauty to it. When they look at the sword, they remember what their grandfather said to them as they gave them that sword. Same with Hamlet. What did his father say to him when he removes his dagger? Did his father give him that dagger? That dagger has a history. This hat has a history. I bought it at a gas station. I went to Austin when I was young. I was a young kid on an adventure. I wrote a monologue about a plant that I was going to move away and leave the plant behind on the balcony. And I got a good compliment from a friend. We try not to cry as actors. And he said, Cole, that was a good monologue. And I looked at him and I said, thank you. That happened at UT Austin when I wrote a monologue on stage as an exercise. And I saw brilliant people that made it in Hollywood coming right out of Austin, right? This hat means something to me. Now, I've lost objects. I lost my mask the other day, but I'll get over it. We are attached to things in this world. This world is real, and so are you. 1, 2, 3. ABC.